Lesson 18-2, page 898, 1 through 5. Number 1 says, write the rules to describe all asymptotes of the function f of x equals tangent x and f of x equals cotangent x. All right. For f of x equals tangent x, the asymptotes are x equals pi over 2 plus n times pi for all integers n. For f of x equals cotangent x, the asymptotes are x equals n pi for all integers n. Now on this lesson here, we're going to introduce you to the graphs of tangent and cotangent. That's about it. All right. Number 2. Plot one cycle of the transformed tangent function g of x on the axis provided with the parent function f of x equals tangent x. Before we do that, let me show you a couple things. And you're probably wondering, okay, and then what if we get, let me get to this and get this, and then we'll get us all right, the unit circle. So this is where all this comes from. And again, we're just going to plot the unit circle on a graph. Well, remember this point here is 1, 0. This point here is 0, 1. And this point here is -1, 0. And this point here is 0, -1. If you remember, tangent theta is sine theta divided by cosine theta. Well, we find these points here because, remember, this right here is cosine theta and sine theta. That's how it translates to that. So this one is the cosine, and the 0 here is the sine. Which also means that tangent theta can be thought of as y over x. Okay? So the equation is f of x, and there's more to it, but this is just getting started, a tangent, and there's 1 over b, that's a b. No, it looks kind of terrible. 1 over b x. Okay. And the period is, now, if you remember on the sine and cosine, the period was 2 pi. But here it is only 1 pi. And the reason for that is cosine here is theta. So when it gets up here, you're dividing by 0, which is undefined. Okay, and when you get down here, you're dividing by 0, which is undefined. So before we were doing the whole thing, but this time you're doing this side and then you're doing that side. Okay, and where these two, you get these asymptotes. that's where x equals 0. And this is where x equals 0. Okay? So that's why they look a lot different. So we have g of x equals tangent 3x. Well, let's go to our graphing calculator. And remember, if you can't use the Inspire, you can always use the Desmos calculator. Desmos has a graphing calculator, and it's on your Chromebook, or it should be. It's in the App Store anyway. So here we go. We have, let's go to graphs. Trig, let's do tangent x. All right, so there's tangent x. Well, that looks kind of funky. I'm going to fix it where you don't see as much. Menu, 4, 1, and let's do negative 2 pi. And then we'll do 2 pi. And then since your asymptotes are going to be at pi over 2, we'll do pi over 2 as your and then there you go. And to show you what I'm talking about, graph entry edit, we'll do a relation. We got x equals, and then control divide pi over 2. Oh, that didn't work for 2. And then you see what I'm talking about? That's pi, and this is, and we'll do the other two. X equals negative pi divide 2. All right, so this would be negative 3 pi over 2, and that would be positive 3 pi over 2. So here are your asymptotes. That's where on the unit circle, x equals 0, okay, on the unit circle. And this is basically what it looks like. Well, how's it hitting here? Why is this 0? Well, that's actually when, let's go back to our thing. How do we get this? That is too far. That is actually this point right here and that point right there, okay? That's when you got 0 divided by 1, which gives you 0, okay? So that's kind of what it looks like. Now, let's graph this tangent 3x, and we'll show you how to do that. On, new documents, no, and graphs. So we have tangent 3x. Tangent 3x. And it looks something like that. Well, how are you going to put that on this right here? Okay, well, notice, look at this. It goes from negative pi to positive pi. So let's go over here and menu 4, 1. So we're going to go negative pi to positive pi. All right, that's where it went to. Now notice here, this is pi over 4. That's pi over 2. So let's go back over here. And we're going to put in the y scale, we're going to put pi over 8. And let's try, that looks much better. Okay, that's pi over 8. and it's pi over 2. Well, let's go back and look. Negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2. So we'll press tab, menu, 3, 2, and we'll put 1 at x equals, this has been transferred. This has been changed. X equals, and then we'll say pi over 8. Control, divide, pi over 8 and there it goes. Ooh, so it's actually more than that. So we'll put we had a 3, right? 4, 1. So we're going to go over here and we're going to put pi over 6 divided by 6. Tab. We'll put a 6 there. Okay, now we have found it. Okay, now we have found it. So we're going to go menu. Oh, let's hit tab, and we got x equals negative pi and we'll put a 6 in there. And then there you go. Okay. So what did that 3 do? What did that 3 do? Remember, we're talking about from here to here, from this here to there, that is only pi. So the period for tangent is pi. All right. And, well, pi times b. And if b, well, I got 3, b is 1/3. If b is 1/3, you would have period pi times 1/3. Because remember, this is 1 over b. Let's see. 1 over b equals 3. So b equals 1/3 if you do the arithmetic. So this ends up being pi over 3. Okay, that's the period. And half of it is on the right and half of it is on the left. Which is why we have pi over 6 here and negative pi over 6. 2, 1/6 is 1/3, or 2/6 or 1/3. Okay, so that's how that works. So how are we going to do that over here? Plot 1. So we're going to have to figure out if that's 1/2, where's it going to be at? Well, that is pi over 6, remember? So pi over 6, let's draw our asymptote. Let's draw our asymptote. Pi over 4, pi over 8, so pi over 6 is going to be in here. A little bit more. That's too much, halfway in between them. And that's about right. And then, let's see, maybe a little bit to the right. Okay. And to draw our line, we got this part right here, and it's going to go right up next to that, right up next to that, and then boom. And there you go. That is drawn. Okay, now we got a little bit more going on here. So let's try this one here. 3 tangent 2/3. New document, no, graphs, and then we got 3 times tangent and we got 2/3 x. 2 over 3 times x. And there it goes. Okay. Well, how in the world are we going to find, how are we going to find our not wanting to move it very well. Wanting to keep it in the center. All right. So how we got 2/3. So we have pi b, and we've got 2/3. 1 over b equals 2/3. So multiply both sides. You got 3 over b equals 2. Multiply both sides by b. You got 3 equals 2b. Divide both sides by 2. You got 3/2 equals b. So basically, you're just going to flip those. So you're going to have pi times 3/2, or 3 pi over 2. That's going to be your period. So half of that times 1/2 would be 3 pi over 4. Okay, so let's go back. And we're going to press tab. And menu 3, 2, and we got x equals, control, divide, 3 pi over 2. X equals 3 pi over 2. What it? Oh, it was 3 pi over 4. Well, looky. All right, so that put it, there we go. We have found it. All right. So if we've got one here, we're going to have one on the other side. So we have x equals -3 pi over 4. And there's that one. All right, so that left it there. Good. So if I want to just to the 1, 0, let's do that. So we've got 3 pi over 4. 3 pi over 4. And this isn't, but if I look on this scale here, this goes from -2 pi to +2 pi and pi over 4. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say menu 4, 1, -2 pi, tab 2 pi, and then I got pi over 4. Pi divide 4. Okay, well that looks better. So if this pi over 4, pi over 2, and that would be 3 pi over 4. Well, that helps. That's going to be this line here. almost there. And then we got the spot here in the middle. Just going to go like. And then there you go. And it is drawn. That was 1 and 2, wasn't it? Well, that's 2 and 3. Now 4 and 5. So let's just work on 4 and 5 here. We got negative tangent pi over 3. So in this case here, you're going to have 1 over b equals 1/3. Okay? 1 over b. So b equals 3. So pi b would be pi times 3, or 3 pi. Okay. Now this here, this time a is -1. Okay, so that's going to reflect it over the x-axis, which means it's going to go down. It's going to look something like this right here. Okay. And then I'll show you that in just a minute. Now, let's see, we have 3 pi, so we're going to have 1½ pi's over here. Let's see here, 1½ pi's over here. And we're going to have -1½ pi's over here. All right. And then it should look something like this right here. It should look something like that right there. All right, let's go try our calculator. On, new, no, graphs, tangent, and then we had x over 3. Control, divide. We got x over 3. And don't forget to put the negative in the front. Aha! All right. Now, we have already figured out. Let's see, me and you, 4, 1. And we said this, we're going to do, well, this was -2 pi to 2 pi. -2 pi, 2 pi, and our scale was 0, and it looks like pi over 4. So we're going to do pi divide 4. And there it is. Okay. And remember, you got 1 at x equals, let's see, tab, menu, 3, 2. You got x equals, control, divide, 3 pi over, I hate when I do that, 2. There it is. And then tab x equals -3 pi over 2. And there's the other. Okay, there's your other asymptote. Good deal. Number 5. Okay, so now we have x equals, oh, and I do that like that, and that was not supposed to be like that. It was, I said it at the very beginning that it was going to look something like this, right? Let's see here. And then I went ahead and did not pay attention. There you go. All right, a equals -1/4. So that's going to be a vertical compression, and tangent. So let's see here. 1 over b equals 4. So B equals 1/4. So our period is going to be pi over 4. Our period is going to be pi over 4, right? Pi times B equals pi times 1/4, which equals pi over 4. So it's going to have half on this side and half on that side. And let's see if we can't draw our thing. That's pretty close. And undo that last one. Let me redraw it. And there it goes. And it's negative. And let's take a look at it. Negative 1/4. Okay. On, new document, no, graphs, and we got negative 1/4 times, that's tangent, that was 4x, wasn't it? 4x. Whoa, I told you. All right, anyway, menu 4, 1, that's a little bit too much. So we're going to go negative pi to pi. And what are we going to use here? It uses pi over 4. So we'll do pi divide 4. There you go. That looks a lot better. All right. So C0. Zero, so right, kind of looks like that, doesn't it? So what is this? This is pi over 8. So let's try that. All right, tab, menu, 3, 2, x equals, control, divide, pi over 8. Wow. So you're going to have another one at, we'll push tab, x equals negative pi over 8. And there's your other. Okay. See how it compressed it vertically and it compressed it horizontally. All right, excellent job, folks. I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon and have a good day.